When you've studied in a school with 50 students in a class and 200 in a batch, for people to remember you, you either have to be excellent in everything, or you have to be the naughtiest one, the ones who always get into trouble. But there is a particular group of students that often goes unnoticed, the group of average students. And I was one of them. I was neither good in sports nor in studies. And on top of that, I was clueless. One day I wanted to be a doctor, next an artist, and by the end of an year, I would be convinced that I could be an astronaut. Do you see this picture? It's one of the staircases of my home, having pictures of my mother receiving certificates and awards at her time. So naturally, everyone expected me to be that smart kid of smart parents. Funny, right? Funny how society creates this fake image about you and how you have to try and reach the standards you didn't even set for yourself. But along with the standards, what comes with that is comparisons. Comparisons of this person's achievement, that person's greatness. But what they don't tell you is that it's okay to be average. It's okay to find your own path. It's okay to find your own pace. You don't have to measure up to anyone else's idea of being success. So well, I was very average from a very small age. So what happened was my parents got accustomed to it. Whenever teachers tried to complain about my carelessness, my dad used to counsel them instead, saying, I'm happy she's average and a bit above. I don't expect her to excel. And just like my parents, the pressure itself got tired of pushing me into something I was not, and it gave up, leaving me with the only realization that I didn't have to become anything other than what I wanted to be. So I started being involved in everything and anything I can, from poem recitations where I forgot the whole poems after 2 lines, to one act plays where I, played the character without any dialogues. And while diving into this and that, I somehow got involved in volunteering. Volunteering as a teacher for the children with Down syndrome. And this was the thing that I had committed for the longest amount of time at that time. It was this feeling from inside. It was this happiness, it was this satisfaction, and over more than that, it was about the power of giving. Now, you might all think, as I'm an IT student, why did I choose IT as an option? I'll be honest. It was my uncertainty. In high school, I chose science because I was very clueless. So choosing science meant it would open doors to many other options, right? So similarly, guess what? After 2 years, what happened was I was still clueless. And that what happened. So I chose science. But as I was involved in science and IT, I was volunteering alongside. And soon I got to collaborate in the society based research. And this was something that really changed me. The problem I never knew even existed would be affecting life of thousands of individuals and especially women. This was when I realized the reality of society and the dark side of all human. And during this time, as more as I got involved in those work, it started becoming more about people and for the people rather than my work. And this was when there were many headlines. There used to be headlines every alternative days on different kinds of attacks, violence, and overall every abuses. I remember waking up all night, watching documentaries, reading articles, researching about it, doing my own small investigation in my room, living with frustration. Frustration over government, the society, the mentality, the frustration over what? And within morning, those frustration would be gone and it had not led me anywhere. So that was when I decided to taken action. So beyond, we as human, what we do is tend to blame and complain without realizing the power we have within ourselves. One person, it only takes one person to take a change. And I knew I had to take some action to, so I went for this. It was my way of, transferring my frustration into something positive by empowering young girls to defend themselves in the time of potential attack. Well, everything was going well then, right? And we had empowered over 800 individuals when suddenly the whole world was shut down. I was not someone who could stay quiet. I was restless. I was really restless. And, I used to talk here and there. And after getting suggestions from everywhere, I decided to conducted discussions online, having all the global and local experts together in a platform where they can share their ideas. The problem with this was I had to mail them. I had to coordinate the program. I had to be the moderator. I had to design the posters. I had to do the social media. So it was all on me. You might be thinking why I have showed these ugly posters here, right? So this is the first poster I ever designed, and that's the third one. You can see the difference, right? Even though that's not perfect, but in third time, I think I've got it better than first. So what I meant is, as you work into something, as you work through it, you get better at that. I still remember getting calls in the middle of moderating webinars, telling from the people asking me how they could join the webinars. And I had to attend to that too because I was into participation too. That's when I realized I was not good, I was not good, I was not perfect. So that's when I realized no one is perfect from the very beginning. It's only about showing up and learning and growing through all those efforts. So soon after lockdown, I launched another very ambitious project that had, the single project would contribute to 14 sustainable development goals out of 17 and empowering 50 women from the very first, which was a very, huge success. And I soon started getting invited as speakers. Now, do you remember that girl who had forgotten whole poem in front of her classmates? Yes, the same girl. She was standing in front of all the people, hundreds of international experts sharing her ideas. Why didn't I held my voice back then? Was it due to lack of confidence? Was it because I felt overshadowed by the excellent students? Or was it the pressure of being perfect? My ordinary background has been an asset to me when I think of it right now. The same ordinary background and those so-called average skills, that is what has brought me here. That gave me the opportunity to, explore things, learn different things. And today, as I stand here, it is because of those very average skills. I can see that I have empowered 2,000 women till date through my small little projects. And it's okay being average, because being average does not mean you need to focus on one thing, or you need to have this narrow path, only a narrow path. It means you have this understanding of diverse perspectives. You can explore yourself, discover yourself, and most importantly, you can understand what empathy is. Empathy of understanding people who are overlooked or underappreciated. And doing that, you create a space around you, a space that you feel valuable, safe, and happy. And the same space will make others before you happy, valued, and comfortable. Well, some people say they're jack of all trades, some are master of one. Well, I'm master of none. And my only secret to all of this is curiosity and experimentation. So, this is what I've been doing till now as well. I've been experimenting things, learning things, and trying to, integrate all of it together. I'm trying to involve, integrate IT to so advocacy, advocacy to IT, and I'm experimenting. Some fail, some succeed. That's what has been going on, but most importantly, that's what has led me here today. Now, today, I want you to take a pause from your real life. I want you to, remember and remember that society creates this invisible barriers, and you all, you race through it. And while you're racing through it, what you forget is yourself. You lose yourself so many times. So today, before you leave, I want you to set some standard for yourself. The standard you make for yourself and not someone else. And I don't want you to limit yourself from one definition of success. For me, success is, driving, bringing all things I've learned into one place and creating an impact. I'm different, you're different, and as an individual, our definition of success should not match. It should, it should be different. So I want you to, you know, set some standard for yourself and define success for yourself today, and that's all. Because that's how you can achieve what you want to. Even today, I have completed my bachelor's, waiting for my convocation this November, and I'm getting a lot of, what's your next plan? Aba plan ke cha ta? Baira jane bosne? With a little confidence and a bit smile, I say, I don't know, because I still don't. I'm clueless, but until I'm doing something I love, I'm where I'm valued, I feel like it's okay. And it's okay to be you. It's all right. It's all right to find your path, whenever you can. It's never late to find yourself. Thank you.